Has your doctor released you to work, but you're still injured? Why are they doing this? What does it mean? And what should you do? We're answering that right now. Hi, I'm Naomi from Gonzalez Law, empowering Californians through legal education. Why are they releasing you back to work? The answer is simple. The goal of workers' compensation is to get the most amount of injured workers treated and back to work. So your doctor is trying to get you back to work too. So what does this mean? Are you all done with workers' compensation? Not necessarily. People confuse this all the time, being released to go back to work and being released from care, and they're different. In my prior video, we talked about the lifespan of a workers' compensation case. I'll go ahead and link it. And in that video, we saw that during the main treatment phase, you can be working full duty, be off work completely, or be working modified duty. So just because you're being released back to work doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be released from care. But if you reach permanent and stationary, these two things might just happen at the same time. At the time your doctor is trying to release you back to work, you need to ask him if you are also being released from care. So what do you do now? If you've been released to full duty, then you give that work status to your employer, and your employer should be putting you back on the schedule and you start working your normal job. If you've been given restrictions and you're in the temporary part of your case, you need to give that work status to your employer, and your employer will take a look and see if they have work that will accommodate your restrictions. If they say, yes, we have work, then you need to go in and do that work within your restrictions. If they say, no, sorry, we don't have work like that, then you would stay home and you would continue on the benefits that you've been receiving as if the doctor never released you back to work. But if you have reached permanent and stationary, then those restrictions are now permanent restrictions, and your employer must do an ADA assessment at that point. What do you do if you're in the situation where your doctor either tells you to go back to work full duty or gives you modifications, but it's still too hard? You feel like your injuries are not recovered enough, you're actually hurting yourself more, way too much pain. What do? First, you need to get on the phone with your doctor's office and tell them these restrictions are too light, I need more restrictions, or I need to be taken off work because I am injuring myself more. Hopefully your doctor will listen to you and change those restrictions. Sometimes you're treating in an industrial clinic, and those doctors tend to be less willing to listen to you about work status. If that's the case and you want to switch doctors, you can designate another doctor within the MPN. So if you have reached permanent and stationary and want to know more about that ADA process and what happens when you go back to work, I talk about that in this video right here. If you would like to talk to us about your case, go ahead and text us consult and we'll be very happy to talk to you about that. And don't forget, please press like so more people can be empowered. Thank you. Bye.